I was just hearing some really weird noises.
I just found 2 more. Holy sh**.
This first clip comes from the YouTube channel Exploration Unknown, run by an explorer named John. His videos often focus on historical locations, places shaped by conflict, tragedy, and forgotten violence. And in this episode, he and a fellow investigator traveled to Fort Anderson, a long-abandoned site in Rocky Top, Tennessee, tied directly to the Coal Creek Wars of the late 1800s. Fort Anderson sits on what's known as Militia Hill, a strategic overlook once used by state forces during a violent labor uprising. The land itself is quiet now, overgrown, dark, and largely ignored, but its history isn't subtle. Prisoners were forced to mine coal here, armed guards occupied the hill, and at least one inmate was killed during what was officially described as an accidental discharge, while journalists were present to document the operation. That detail alone has raised questions for more than a century. John didn't come expecting danger from the living. The plan was to document the site, explore the remaining trenches, and investigate reports of strange activity that others had claimed to experience in the surrounding woods. Early on, the location felt heavy, isolated, unnervingly quiet, with sounds moving through the tree line and down the old trenches that once held armed men.
Welcome everyone, it is John, and I'm back with another adventure. And behind me is a cannon that represents a location known as Fort Anderson on top of Militia Hill here in Rocky Top, Tennessee, formerly known as Lake City, and even before that, Coal Creek. But we've been having some experiences here already, and I'm excited to get it going. Look, can't see down in there too well. There's a little ball in there. I mean, this is crazy. If you look on the side, 1853. It's an authentic cannon. Josh was just getting some shots down there where I got some earlier, and we heard a weird sound. Hello?
As the night progressed, the focus shifted from history to awareness. Both John and his partner repeatedly heard movement nearby, footsteps that didn't line up with visible wildlife.
There's something about that trail back through there.
There is, man.
Every time I'm here, something wants me to go that way. I can feel it. I just saw a little light over in the woods there.
Blue one? I saw it right when I was turning around.
That was weird.
It was like a little blue flag?
Yeah. It was just like right over there in that trench.
Yeah.
As you was just talking about that, the REM pod.
Something's just walking the trench. Like,
yeah. So we got the REM pod right there. Oh, look there, it went off. Yeah, I had the whole thing in frame too. You could tell.
Really?
You could tell I wouldn't touch it. Can you do that for us one more time? I'd love it if you'd touch it one more time for me. Thank you. It's been like that all night.
It has.
On command too.
Was that you that we just saw in the trench? Are you showing up as a blue light? It sounds like it's still walking.
Yeah.
Lights appeared briefly in the woods, then vanished. Equipment reacted at moments that seemed oddly timed, though nothing definitive could be explained in isolation. But then the situation changed.
Okay, guys, in this actual area right here, approximately, give or take a few feet where that tree is where a prisoner was actually shot and killed.
I'm hearing something stirring up.
Yeah, I'm starting to hear some stirring too. That was right there. It's just bizarre. It's like you would swear someone's walking up on you every time.
I wonder if it's like trying to save me, trying to get me out of here.
That very well could be it. Dude, something just moved behind that tree.
Really?
I saw it with my own eyes. I don't know if I caught it on camera, but it looked like somebody was peeking out of this tree right here and leaned back in. Hello?
Thomas, is that you?
That was freaking nuts, dude.
Whoa. Dude, what the hell was that?
Something big.
I could see all the branches moving.
Dude, something just took off from there.
I don't think I should be down this road.
You might not. I think they might. Received.
Yep.
Yep, message received for sure.
Get the hell out of here.
Golly, dude, that was so loud. That was
I don't know if
big.
something was thrown at me or what.
It almost sounded like something was either thrown or something big just took off.
At this point, the two really weren't sure if this was something paranormal or not, but either way, the tension had raised drastically, and little did they know. Things were only about to get worse.
Alright, well, let's head in that direction.
Yeah.
Maybe go back around to that pathway.
Yeah, I want to go down that path for sure. Let's head that way. Okay, guys, so we are back over here by the cannon. We're actually going to go down this trail and see what happens. We keep hearing, and I don't know that we've caught it on camera any night, but we've heard this like moaning sound come from back here multiple times. And I can't think of an animal that sounds like that. So I've been back this way once. I just heard it again.
I did too. I almost heard it would sound like a bottle clink as well.
Yeah,
Bro, look at that tree.
I know.
Isn't that bizarre?
It is bizarre, actually. Let's get a closer look at that.
Looks like it's been broke off or gnawed on or something.
Yeah, look at that. Turn my light down so you can actually see it. Yeah, something's like,
It doesn't look natural.
no, it looks like chewed on.
Yeah. Hello?
There goes again. Okay. I gotta go see if there's anything down here.
Hopefully it's nobody ahead, huh?
I hope not. So the trench goes this way.
Dude, don't they
What?
say like spots a leper or a sign of
Yeah.
evil? Look at all the trees around here. Like
Oh.
all the bark is coming off, and that one to the right of you.
You know, it don't feel right down here either.
Yeah, I'm not just talking about the moss. I'm talking like look to your right. A big tree.
Yeah.
There's chunks missing all out of it.
Yeah, something's wrong here. Dude, come here and feel how it feels over here too.
Oh, it hits you like right here.
It hits you. I say yes. Oh God! Is there an animal or a bug on me?
No,
Oh, I feel like something just bit the hell out of my arm.
really.
God dang it, that hurt.
Nothing there.
Oh. State coal mine. Dude.
What is that?
Hello? Dude, something ain't right down here.
There's something down here with us.
Yeah. God, I can't believe how much my arm's hurting.
While moving through a lower section of the site near the trenches, they noticed damage to trees. Bark stripped away, branches broken in a way that didn't look natural, and a strong, foul smell lingered in the air, and the atmosphere felt incredibly off. Still, the worst was yet to come.
Dude, you smell that?
I do smell that, man. That does not smell good. Dude, let's start working our way back up.
I don't know what that is, but it ain't good.
It is not good.
Oh, what the hell was that? Go, 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 go.
That sounded like gunfire, man.
Is this the right way?
Yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, shit.
You're not hit, right?
No, I don't think.
Bro, we shouldn't.
Somebody's messing with us over there. I don't know, somebody.
That was directed at us. It smelled like a body.
It did. That's why I started leaving. Let's get out of here, man.
I didn't catch it until the breeze came my way, you know?
Oh, God. We might want to let somebody know about that. That did not smell right.
Make some phone calls.
Oh,
I ground some fun.
oh, something down there. There's something dead down there.
Hopefully it's an animal.
I hope. Oh.
Something large moved through the brush nearby, followed by a sudden, sharp sound that immediately raised the alarm. It wasn't ambiguous to them. It was a gunfire. The sound wasn't distant enough to dismiss. It wasn't accompanied by voices or visible people, but it was close enough to trigger instinct. They didn't stay to investigate further. They left the area immediately, got into their vehicle, and drove away, later stating that it felt like they had been shot at, or at the very least, deliberately warned off. There was no confirmation of who was out there, no explanation for the smell, no clarity on whether the sound came from a firearm, fireworks, or something else entirely. Just the realization that they were no longer alone in a place with limited visibility, no backup, and a long history of violence tied to that exact hill. This clip stands out not because of shadows or ghost stories, but because of how quickly curiosity turned into risk. Fort Anderson wasn't just a haunted location on paper. It was a remote site where something, or someone, made it clear they weren't welcome anymore. And whether that danger came from history, coincidence, or a very real person hiding in the woods, the result was the same. They left, and they wisely didn't go back. At Fort Anderson, the threat may have come from another person, but in the next clip, the danger is totally something else, although just as deadly. This next video comes from Sergel, the creator behind the YouTube channel Travel Stories. His content usually centers around solitude, long journeys into untouched wilderness, nights spent in handmade log cabins, and the quiet routines of surviving far from civilization. Most of the time, his videos are calm, methodical, and almost meditative, but this one shows how quickly that calm can fracture. The trip begins like many others. Sergel heads deep into the forest, planning to spend the night alone in a small log cabin he's used before. On the way, he stops to check a trail camera he had installed earlier in the summer. Immediately, he notices something is wrong.
Сломано крепление. Вот этот кусочек вырван. Фотоловушку эту установил где-то в начале июня, в первой половине июня. Сейчас посмотрю, включу, если... Ну, в любом случае, вы сейчас кадры увидите, какие там есть. Новое. Подумаем, что-нибудь придумаем.
The camera is hanging crookedly. The mount is cracked. When he reviews the footage, the reason becomes clear. A bear had investigated it. Not a large one, but curious and strong enough to snap plastic like it was nothing. It's a quiet reminder of where he is. Not a campsite, not a park, but an animal's territory. He reaches the cabin as daylight fades and starts preparing for the night. Water has to be collected from a nearby stream. Firewood needs to be gathered. And then a real problem appears. The wood stove refuses to draw smoke properly. Instead of venting outside, smoke pours into the cabin, filling the space until it's hard to breathe. Multiple attempts fail. The air grows thick and dangerous. In a place like this, a malfunctioning stove isn't an inconvenience, it's a genuine threat.
Ребята, я плохо проверил все трубы. Смотрите. Видите? Осиное гнездо внутри трубы. Прям внутри трубы сделали осиное гнездо. Охренеть. Так, сейчас мы его вытащим.
After dismantling the pipes piece by piece, he finds the cause. Inside the chimney is a wasp nest, built silently over time, blocking airflow completely. Some of the insects are still inside, dead from smoke. He removes the nest, clears the pipe, and finally the stove works again. The danger passes, but it's already clear how fragile safety is out here. One overlooked detail could have ended the night very differently. The next morning starts peacefully. Autumn light filters through the trees. The forest feels calm again. But that calm doesn't last because not long after waking up that morning, the danger becomes real. Sergal spots the bear with his own eyes outside the cabin, close enough to immediately change the situation. This wasn't a passing animal. It was aware, curious, and close. He loads his rifle and waits, listening. He doesn't rush outside. He doesn't assume the bear has gone. That hesitation matters. Bears don't announce themselves. They don't follow scripts. Eventually, he decided to step outside, hoping noise alone would be enough to push the animal away. And it worked. For now. But the tension didn't immediately fade. Sergil packed up knowing the bear could return at any moment, but it never did. He didn't see it again. Still, the awareness lingered. Even as he moved deeper into the forest to hunt hazel grouse and reset trail cameras, there was a quiet understanding that things could have gone very differently. Out there, help wasn't minutes away. There was no cell signal, no quick backup. This video wasn't unsettling because of shadows or imagined threats. It was disturbing because everything in it was real. A damaged camera trap, a blocked chimney filling the cabin with smoke, and a bear close enough to test the line between curiosity and danger. Alone in the wilderness, even ordinary moments carried weight. And sometimes, the most serious threats weren't loud or dramatic. They were patient, unpredictable, and just out of sight. Now Sergil survived because he respected what he couldn't control. The next creator decided to do the opposite, on purpose. And that creator is the man behind the channel named Dead Appalachia, a man who grew up in the region and focuses on separating Appalachian reality from internet myth. In this video, he set out to do something deliberately provocative: break every so-called rule of Appalachia that circulates online. Rules about whistling after dark, leaving curtains open, going into the woods at night, and calling out into the forest. The goal wasn't to summon anything. It was to test whether these rules had any real-world consequences, or whether they'd been exaggerated into something they were never meant to be. To do that, he and his wife rented an isolated off-grid cabin deep in the Appalachian backwoods of eastern Ohio. No neighbors, no streetlights, no immediate help, just woods, wildlife, and silence. The kind of place where normal sounds carry farther than they should.
Yeah, we are in the Appalachian wilderness of eastern Ohio. I think this is my first time being in Ohio, so we have rented out this isolated off-grid cabin out here in the wilderness, just so I can see if these rules of Appalachia have any cadence. Because I've lived in Appalachia all my life. You know, I was born here, I was raised here, and I currently live here. But yeah, we're here in an off-grid cabin. I'm going to be doing some of the things that you're supposedly not supposed to do here in Appalachia at night. And we'll see if we capture any type of paranormal activity. We'll see if anything breaks down this door to drag me out into the woods to punish me for breaking one of these rules. Or nothing's going to happen. I'm going to look like a fool on camera. Either way, we're going to do it. Howdy, critters. You see me? I can't see you very well. As you can see, it is very well dark. It is nighttime here in southern Appalachia. So already I'm breaking one of the big rules of Appalachia, going outside from dusk till dawn, which I've always thought was a really silly one. God. Oh, my freaking phone. Hopefully you can hear that with the audio turned up. Did y'all hear that rustling? Hello? Any wendigos out here? Any skinwalkers? I ain't afraid of you. I'm a little afraid.
As daylight fades, the tone shifts. Coyotes can be heard calling nearby, close enough to echo through the trees. Rustling sounds move along the tree line. Probably nothing supernatural, but enough to remind you how exposed you are once darkness settles in. That night, the rules start getting broken. Curtains are left open. Whistling is played into the woods. He walks trails after dark, deliberately antagonizing the environment. Not because he believes the folklore, but because he wants to see if anything measurable happens. And something does happen.
let's begin this investigation in earnest. It's fall. Oh, I love the cold air. All right, if I'm gonna be going out here, I think it might be smart to bring some protection. Big old heavy axe, it should do the trick. I didn't bring a gun because I don't have a carry permit for Ohio, so you know what, unfortunately there's no way I'm going to be able to carry that and the camera and the light and be able to know where I'm going, so I'm going to have to leave the axe behind. Okay. The woods around here just look so ominous and creepy and uninviting. It's like whatever is out here does not want you in here.
Not an apparition, but a steady escalation of tension. Coyotes grow louder and closer. Sounds carry strangely across the ridge. But he presses on, even though everything inside him tells him to head back to the cabin.
This forest is daunting, to say the least. Did I just see something move? I think it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. We're almost to the top of the hill, I think. Oh, man. That incline. It's getting the best of me here. Alright. This place looks pretty secluded. We're a decent bit away from the cabin. This is a fine place as any. I've was sent this spirit box by a subscriber of mine. So this will be my first time using it. I honestly don't know how to use it that well. I'm kind of new to all this, but maybe there's some spiritual energies here I can talk to.
Pay for a vacation later.
What got them hooting and hollering last time is the spirit box. Maybe if I run it again, I'll get them to start up again. Let's try that. What the actual hell? I think it's about time I head back to the cabin. What the actual hell was that the spirit box was working fine just a minute ago, getting regular radio signals. Is that normal? I'm sure there's some much more experienced paranormal investigators who have used spirit boxes frequently. Is that normal for it to make that god-awful sounds? That has set my nerves right on edge. I don't like it.
The spirit box, something even the creator admits he doesn't fully understand, begins emitting distorted noise that's harsh, mechanical, and completely different from normal radio chatter. Enough to make him stop using it altogether.
I think I'm going to continue this investigation in the safety of the cabin. I feel a very, very unwelcoming presence here in these woods. I just keep hearing things walking around me, so I guess this is what you get when you purposely antagonize dangerous nature, spirits, and entities, right? Oh yeah, here. It is, I'm up there.
Did you go by it already?
Yeah, so it goes the cabin, geode house, and then the A-frame. They're kind of up the same path. If you keep looking on the right here, there'll be two signs that say geo house and then A-frame house.
Okay, and the signs are on the right hand side?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All right, thanks.
No problem. You know that A-frame and those other cabins I was talking about? Those fellers were lost and just wanted to try to find where the cabin was that they're supposed to go to. I was worried I had disturbed someone doing all this and gotten someone mad at me, but I reckon we're okay. It's weird they're coming in so late. All right, let's get back inside.
Later, while regrouping at the cabin, his wife mentions seeing unexplained lights moving along the ridgeline. Too high and too slow to be vehicles, too steady to be flashlights. Again, no conclusion is drawn, just observation. Eventually, they leave the cabin temporarily to reset. When they return, the night continues without escalation. No break-ins, no figures at the windows, no dramatic payoff. By morning, the conclusion is simple and far more grounded than the myths suggest. Appalachia isn't a supernatural trap waiting to punish you for breaking rules invented online, but it is an isolated, unfamiliar environment where sound behaves oddly, wildlife moves freely, and fear fills in gaps when visibility drops and control disappears. Nothing followed him home. Nothing attacked them. But the discomfort was real. Because sometimes fear doesn't come from monsters. It comes from realizing how little control you have once you're deep in the woods after dark, and how easy it is for folklore to grow when explanations stay just out of reach. And that's what makes videos like this unsettling. But not every unsettling place relies on legend. Some leave behind physical evidence, and no explanation for why it's there. And this next clip is a great example of that. It isn't tied to a single confirmed incident or crime. Instead, it's one of those situations that becomes unsettling not because of what's proven, but because of what can't be explained. And once you see what was found in this stretch of forest, it's hard not to ask why anyone would be here at all. MKP Studios is a channel run by Casey, an explorer known for venturing deep into remote wilderness areas, places far beyond marked trails and easy access. His videos often focus on documenting what gets left behind in these environments, and in this case, he returned to a location in the Pacific Northwest that had already raised serious concerns during a previous visit. Earlier explorations had led him to an abandoned cell phone hidden deep in the woods, one that was actively ringing when he found it. Viewers urged him to go back, not for answers, but to see if there were signs of further human activity nearby. This video documents that return.
And what's even crazier is that not even 10 minutes ago, I got a severe weather alert. So apparently there's some sort of tropical storm moving its way through Washington, so it's currently pouring down rain right now. So that just adds another layer to this video because I'm definitely about to get soaked. Check it out. We have our first sign. I'm just gonna keep heading down this trail, but we have seen this before, just giving warnings not to go any further. So yeah, let's just keep going and see what happens. I'm just gonna head up that area. See, like, there's some trash, but this is like one of the biggest parts of the creek. It goes down under this tunnel. Whoa. I see some like trash. Yo, it's a suitcase and a tire. That's crazy.
Almost immediately, it becomes clear that this isn't an untouched forest. Scattered along the trail are objects that don't belong, items suggesting prolonged human presence rather than a brief stop. None of it is arranged like a campsite, but it neither looks accidental. As Casey moves deeper, the severe weather sets in. Heavy rain begins falling after a storm warning is issued, soaking the terrain and slowing movement. In conditions like this, sound travels poorly, visibility drops, and navigation becomes more difficult, factors that already make remote terrain dangerous without any other variables involved. And things were only getting more strange.
As I started hiking into the woods, I immediately noticed several missing person signs posted along the trail. Now, I'd seen similar signs in the nearby town before, but never this deep into the forest. And it was definitely a creepy way to start off this video.
So this once again just emphasizes the dangers of this place. So I've never seen any missing signs around here before, but I'm not sure if this is meant to be a deterrent, similar to like maybe the other signs that we've seen around here, but this is definitely strange. This is definitely a new one. I'm pretty sure this is a sleeping bag. Yeah, this is definitely a sleeping bag. This looks like pretty new. There's something in here. Whoa, it's a shotgun shell. It looks like it's unused. Okay, this is definitely unsettling.
No firearm was present. No explanation is offered. But the implication is unavoidable. Someone was here recently, and not casually. But still, he continues to hike deeper. And when Casey reaches the location of his previous find, the abandoned phone, he notices changes. The original cross he had documented earlier has fallen over. Beside it, a second cross now stands. The words, "Forgive us," are written across it. This wasn't there before. Someone returned after his last visit. Someone deliberately altered the site.
This was the original one that we found, but it's fallen over. But there's this new one right next to it that says "Forgive us," and it looks pretty new. I am shocked right now. I can't believe that this area has changed. It's been at least a couple months since I found the phone. It was right here. Yeah, so as you can see, the cliff goes all the way down there, and this original cross, and then now this new one. I'm so shocked right now. I can't believe this. So your guess is as good as mine on if this is some sort of burial site, but someone had to have been here recently to put up this second cross.
After revisiting the spot, I kept hiking deeper into the woods for probably another 20 to 30 minutes without seeing anything unusual. But then something so strange happened that it nearly made me stop filming altogether.
I think I just found something. Holy sh**. What? Okay. I'm speechless right now. There's this found footage movie where they're in the woods and they find a bunch of these like weird doll things hanging from the trees, and this looks identical to those dolls.
Those multiple stick figures hanging from trees seem clearly intentionally placed, varying in size, positioned in a way that suggests planning rather than randomness. This isn't near an entrance. It isn't visible from a trailhead. If this were a prank, it would require effort, time, and privacy, far from casual.
There's this big one here, but there's another one hanging right next to it. I just found two more. Holy sh**. This is mind-blowing, you guys. So there's that one down there. There's another one hanging right below it. And then there's this. There's two other ones right here. I don't know what to do right now. Something in me is telling me that we just stumbled across like a sacrificing site or something. I don't know. This is unbelievable. I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
Rain continues. Visibility drops. The forest becomes quieter. Later, Casey discovers a machete embedded into a tree, again, placed, not discarded. This is no longer just debris. It's evidence of repeated, deliberate human activity in an area few people ever see. And after several hours, as he begins heading back, Casey hears unfamiliar sounds. First, mechanical, then something resembling distant vocal noise.
Whoa. What was that? Whoa. What was that? What was that? That sounded like a drone, maybe? That was really loud. I've never heard that before. Okay, I was heading back to my car and I swore I heard singing coming from nearby. Like different pitches.
The audio isn't clear enough to identify. It could be environmental, it could be human. It could be distortion caused by rain, terrain, or exhaustion. What matters is the timing. It occurs after hours of isolation, discovery, and heightened awareness. During the retreat, he also found another object hidden along the path, a duct-taped container holding a drone remote. No drone is present. No explanation is obvious. But again, it suggests surveillance capability in a place where visibility is limited and escape routes are few. By the end of the video, no single discovery provides answers, but together, they seem to form a pattern. Someone has been using this forest regularly. Someone has returned. Someone has left tools, supplies, markers, and messages behind. And none of it aligns with recreation, hiking, or lawful use. It's a reminder that remote places don't just hide animals and terrain, they hide people. And when you find signs of repeated human presence in areas meant to be empty, the lack of explanation can be more unsettling than any conclusion. Because in places like this, the most dangerous thing isn't what you imagine, it's what you don't see. Now, if that clip left you with questions, wait until you see what comes next. Because this time, all we have is the footage. And that footage comes from a YouTube channel called Vertical Hell Scan. There's almost no context attached to it. No backstory, no explanation. Just a short caption that reads, "I found your footage." What that means is never clarified. Whether the uploader recorded this themselves or recovered it from someone else is left completely unanswered. And that lack of information is what makes this clip difficult to place and hard to forget. The video opens inside a small dark cabin. The room is barely visible. Almost immediately, faint knocking can be heard, and the person filming reaches for a light switch, but it doesn't work. The power is gone. With no overhead light, the only thing illuminating the space is a handheld flashlight. Then, the flashlight dies. With the room plunged into total darkness, the filmer is left with only one source of light, the camera's photo flash. Each press creates a frozen snapshot of the room, brief flashes revealing furniture, doorways, empty corners. The gaps between the flashes stretch longer. The silence feels heavier. And then, in one of those bursts of light, something changes. A figure appears. It's standing in the room, wearing a mask. How long it's been there in the cabin is impossible to tell. There's no sound when it appears, no footsteps, no warning. Just the sudden realization that the room is no longer empty. Panic sets in instantly. The camera jolts as the filmer bolts for the exit, fleeing the cabin. Outside, the flashlight inexplicably works again. There's no attempt to confront the figure, only escape. Desperate for cover, the filmer drops into what looks like a small underground space or exterior basement near the cabin. The camera struggles to stay focused as breathing turns ragged. For a moment, it feels like they've managed to disappear. But it isn't over yet. It is still wearing the mask, still silent. No chase, no rush, just presence. And then the video cuts off. There's no follow-up, no confirmation, no explanation of who recorded it or who uploaded it. The caption offers only one suggestion, that this footage was found. Whether this was a staged horror film, an abandoned project, or something recovered from someone who never came back is impossible to say. There's simply not enough information to draw a conclusion. And maybe that's what makes this clip so unsettling. Not the mask, not the darkness, but the silence around it. So what do you think? Is it a short horror film? Or genuine found footage with no ending? Either way, the next clip takes a different path, because this time, the person behind the camera doesn't run. Solo Exploration is a channel run by a man who ventures alone into remote and forgotten places, exploring untamed landscapes, abandoned buildings, and sleeping wherever curiosity leads him. From crumbling ruins overtaken by nature to deep stretches of forest, where isolation feels absolute, he has built a reputation for pushing the limits of solitude and self-reliance. But in this video, he takes that challenge further than ever before. This time, he isn't just exploring a forgotten structure. He plans to spend the night inside an abandoned morgue. What begins as an ambitious test of nerve slowly transforms into something far more unsettling than he anticipated.
Okay, now this one I am a little bit worried for myself for, but we shall conquer it, no matter what. Oh yes, that's the sign we're looking for. Hospital. Oh, what a creepy little bridge. Check the settings. Got trees all around that side. And then this side, you've got the sea down there. It's not eerie yet. Daylight, feeling good. It's just a weird looking ass bridge. There is cameras on that. What I'm gonna do is quickly go around the side. I'm gonna scope out the whole.
The road leading toward the site feels endless, cutting through wide, open countryside where signs of human activity are scarce. Occasionally, rusted markers appear along the roadside, faded reminders of what once stood here. A hospital complex that has long since shut its doors and been left to decay. Each mile forward feels like a step deeper into isolation, away from help, away from familiarity, and towards something quietly forgotten. By the time he reaches the morgue, the building dominates the landscape like a relic stranded in time. Its exterior is sealed with metal boards, warning signs hanging loosely from gates and fences, battered by years of weather. Rusted poles hold surveillance cameras whose cracked lenses stare outward, lifeless yet unsettling, as if they once watched everything that happened here. He moves cautiously, circling the structure, scanning for an entry point while memorizing every possible route in and out. The silence surrounding the building feels unnatural, heavy, expectant, like the place itself is waiting to see whether he will cross the threshold or walk away.
Building is alarmed, all of them keep saying that. All padlocked, obviously. These two cameras up there. None of them cameras look new though. So I'm not too bothered about them. They look well outdated. I'm just fully scoping out this building now, because I've got all the way here. I've just got to assess it. These look like it's been recently boarded up as well, for fuck's sake. Never gonna open, is it? Fuck it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get my jacket on. I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna grab a head torch out. I'm gonna drop in. We're gonna explore it no matter what. Jacket, just to stop all of the dust and crap getting on me. Grab my head torch out. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, people. Glove, potentially a face mask, eh? Leave that there, that'll be sound. You guys are coming with me. Can you believe I've just got through there? Wow, I landed on that. Put this on because I kicked off all sorts of shit. Yeah, I'm covered in dust and shit here. We're walking in now.
After several attempts, he finally manages to drop inside, landing amid scattered debris and thick layers of dust. The air immediately feels different, stale, heavy, carrying the unmistakable scent of chemicals and age. For the first time, he's truly inside the morgue. His flashlight sweeps across the room, revealing what was left behind. Body trays, stainless steel tables, and medical equipment abandoned mid-purpose. Everything tells the same story, work that ended abruptly, and a place that was never properly closed, only left behind.
See this, they used to operate on the bodies. Drainage down here, look. The body bags. Oh my god, man, how eerie is that? Still got the cloth tissue down on it. Refrigerators, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That old ass Hoover, man. Floor buffer, body bag. Crazy. And what's in here? A little chapel. Oh my god. Wow. A little heater, I'm assuming. Got a light. A little chapel here. Bring the body in. Family could say their final goodbyes, identify the body, etc. Wow. I'm just going to get a few pictures here. I could sleep on this as well if I can get my bag through there, but look at the fucking size of that, man. Tiny. I don't like looking through this though. I feel more comfort in here where they used to work on the bodies than with that refrigerator and that trolley. That trolley's creepy, man. There's even still a lab coat there. Pardon the pun, but that gives me the chills. How tatty that pillow is. Bit of shit stains there. I know it's not, by the way. Imagine it started running.
The morgue appears decayed, yet strangely preserved. Equipment remains exactly where it was last used. Trays still aligned, tables positioned as if waiting for the next procedure that never came. It feels as though time simply stopped here. Every room carries the weight of its purpose, eerie in its stillness, unsettling in how untouched it feels. In one adjoining space, he even discovers a small chapel, silent, intact, and filled with the quiet gravity of forgotten farewells. It's a place built to honor death, yet standing there now, it feels suspended between memory and abandonment. The thought of sleeping in a place like this sends a chill through him. Every shadow seems heavier, every sound more significant because of where he is. But after coming this far, turning back isn't an option. He's committed to staying the night no matter how uneasy it feels. What he doesn't realize yet is that the night ahead won't simply be uncomfortable. It will test his sense of presence, silence, and whether he is truly alone.
There's the morgue. Plan of attack for me. Got my chair built up and just sat out in the woods outside. I've just had a bit of food. Got loads of food here, water. That was security with a dog. There's an old man with a shirt that said something about the hospital. Said they've had a lot of break-ins. I'm just fucking chilling here. Outside the fucking thing. You alright, mate? Did you work here or are you just coming to look at it as well? He doesn't know. I want to sleep in there on my own. He would never fucking think that. Oh, for God's sake. I literally can't get any of my gear inside. and to be able to get it back out. I've been thinking about it for ages. We are persevering. I'm dropping my things in one by one. I will get everything in there. I'm not going to give up on this video. That is tied onto the tree. I've buckled it onto that branch. I've got the last bit of the gear on me now. And we're in. Almost up here. I knew I wasn't going to give up on this one.
The narrow entry point makes hauling his gear inside a slow, frustrating process, but he refuses to quit. Piece by piece, he brings everything in, setting up his equipment carefully. Once finished, he pauses in the dim light, sitting quietly as if to steady himself. Outside, the last traces of daylight fade away. Inside, darkness takes over completely. The only illumination comes from his torch, its beam slicing through thick dust suspended in the air. The morgue is silent, deeply, unnervingly silent.
Hello, sleeping there. Close the door now. That's a bit weird, but it is what it is. I still can't get over that little tiny hole to get in here. It's a fucking nightmare. There I am though. Who else is doing this? Sleeping on my own in the morgue. I am trying to keep my voice down as well because if they are patrolling, I don't want him to hear me.
I was just hearing some really weird noises. It's too quiet at the moment. I don't think you'll hear it. I'll try and record if it does it again.
Is there anybody here with me? If there's somebody here, can you make some noise? This is where we used to work on the bodies with the autopsy, identification, forensics.
Time drags on. He keeps his voice low, aware that security patrols sometimes check the surrounding grounds. But even in near-total silence, faint sounds begin to emerge. Soft taps, distant clicks, subtle and irregular. At first, he attributes them to the building settling, old materials expanding and contracting. But the sounds continue, sometimes closer, sometimes harder to place. The atmosphere grows heavier, the kind that makes you question whether it's simply exhaustion and isolation playing tricks on the mind, or something responding to his presence. Still, he remains composed, documenting everything with careful restraint.
I'm getting pretty tired. It's getting pretty late now, so I'm gonna get ready, jump into bed. If there's anything to report on, well, if not, I'll see you guys in the morning.
Well, that's me all tucked up into bed.
I'm gonna try and get a good sleep and then move to a different spot tomorrow at first light.
Eventually, fatigue sets in. He settles into his sleeping bag, keeping his flashlight within reach. Cold seeps up from the tiled floor beneath him, making rest uncomfortable. Sleep comes in fragments. He drifts in and out, waking repeatedly to noises he can't fully identify. But nothing escalates. No footsteps, no visible movement, just an oppressive silence that never truly feels empty.
Oh, good morning.
Morning brings a subtle shift. Faint light filters through damaged panels overhead, cutting thin lines through the darkness. He begins packing his equipment, relieved but still uneasy. As he climbs back out through the narrow opening, the outside world slowly returns. Wind moving through trees, distant birds calling, signs of life continuing just beyond the morgue's walls. Only then does he reveal what he kept to himself during the night. A persistent tapping sound that seemed to come from every direction, and a strange sensation, like pressure on his leg, as he tried to sleep. It was subtle, fleeting, but unsettling enough to leave questions unanswered. Taking one last look back, he reflects on the experience, how surreal it felt to rest in a place designed for the dead, and how thin the line can be between curiosity and fear. For him, this wasn't just a test of endurance or courage. It was a reminder that silence can be deceptive, and that abandoned spaces sometimes hold echoes far louder than any sound. In the end, he leaves the morgue behind with his footage, and with the lingering thought that not every quiet place is empty, and not every night spent alone truly is. Now that was all for today, folks. If you enjoyed these horrifying clips, click to see more on the video on screen.